turn it into an apartment house with raggedy curtains, and we were the only house on the corner that looked like, well, what's it doing here? You know that story of the city being built all around the house? Well, it used to be a neighborhood when I was younger, but somehow the factories just bought up the houses, and there our house was. So my mother planted, and I have a print coming out that I'm working on called The Gentle Arts. And it's for black women especially, the women who crochet. We used to have a lady next door, her name was T, and she was a little cuckoo. But this lady had the biggest crochet ball that you could buy. Big, remember people used to do, and they had the doilies all sitting up like that with starching it and everything over the dresser. Well, this lady was a genius. She was a little off, but this woman knitted, no, not knit, crocheted bedspreads for king-size beds. She had a lump under her arm from holding the crochet and a dent in her finger. And this woman, what I didn't see no books, no counting 10 or nothing. She would just knit bedspreads, and she had a bag that she would keep to keep the part of the bedspread in while she was working on it. So I saw all of that richness with teeth next door. I think I lost track of what I was trying to say. But my mother planted all kinds of flowers. She planted everything. My aunt lived in the house too. There's too many people in the house. It really was. And all these flowers would come up, beautiful irises. My aunt must have had every kind of iris, tulip, Dutch iris, double iris, single iris, calla lilies, every kind of flower. And my mother loved crystal. So every year, she worked at Macy's. She was a demonstrator. Ooh, my mother could sew. Ooh, she could sew, crochet, knit, trompe-l'oeil, everything. And they would give her a crystal vase because they knew she liked flowers. So with all that environment, we lived near a paint company, fumes, and we didn't have anything about environmental safety, so I'm still here. But we didn't know about that kind of thing. There was a candy factory, the Carnation Creamery, and the steel plant, and all of that. And she would put these flowers in a vase. And every time we had Sunday dinner or something special, she would cut flowers and she would put them in the house and make the interior so opposite from the exterior. And that was her way. She didn't have a lot of money, but that was her way of showing love to the rest of the family, giving us beauty. It was also for herself, but she did that. And so that's why a lot of my things are like domestic and these primary colors. And in a way, I think I'm really blessed by having that narrow palette, as some people might say, because somehow the reason people respond to my work, I don't think my work is all that powerful. And when I look at my resume, that's why I wanted you to stop. I don't really think that's me, but I'm really very humble about that, because the side that I was working wasn't the other side that I was really seeing. That drive was to get rid of those feelings that I had. I'm going to make me some art, and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to grind the stone. Well, you know, they say if you have depression, do an activity. Well, I didn't know about that, but I was in there grading lithograph stones. This is before plates. There were no lithograph plates then. So the activity of the physicalness of doing all that, and then turning the press, we didn't have all these fancy presses that they have now, push the button and bzz, bzz, and all that. This was just sheer cranking these prints out and then go back and grain that stone again. So if I did this, not this print was done at Tamarind. And I really like the work better when I print it. Because I got my hand in it, And if some side is lumpy or bumpy, that's my lump and bump, you know. And the contemporary printmaking now is when you do a lithograph, you don't even see the stone edge. They don't even want the stone edge to be shown. It's too pure. It's too, you know, you want a little. It's like polishing a ball, so beautiful. You just look at it, ooh, that's nice. But then when you see one with texture on it, you say, ooh, what's on the other side? You know, you get deeper into it. So, so that hard work and all of that really was good therapy for me. It helped me in ways that I'm just now beginning to understand now. And also, when I had some tragedy in my family, I had 5 people die in 2 years. And I just fell off the truck. But in the assistance that I got, I'm ready to go now. I got something to say. I got some prints with what I've been telling my kids. Well, Mom, you do some more work. I say, yeah, I'll do some more work. I want to do some work where people say, ooh, wee. And I don't think I've gotten there yet. I think I still got a lot to say. I'm getting up there, 68, and oh, thank you. And so I don't want to make my life sound tragic or anything, but I do want you to know that even though you read all that stuff, it came with a price. It was not anything where I just went to parochial school and bada boom, bada bang. I got this, I got that. It didn't happen that way. And I'm still dealing with some of these major print places. Out of Cameron, there's only been two black people in the master printers program since they were founded. This is Cameron in New Mexico. The woman was not let into the program. And only one guy, African American, graduated. So it's locked down in printmaking. Joyce knows about all that. The exclusion, especially of people of color going through ateliers, because those are the publishing houses. Those people can make or break you. They can print like person, I don't want to mention any names, but anyway, there's some Native Americans that they just keep printing. And their work is everywhere. Every museum in the world has got it. But if they don't publish, you can't get that work out there. Now, you can do prints in your studio. It's not like printing, not like painting, where you can just have all these paintings and they'll just come by, put the truck, give you the check for $150,000. The work is long gone, it's gone. Joyce said, that's a lie. No, but then, looking at Joyce, I want to pay her a very public compliment. At one of the low periods where things were opening up and they were closed and opening, I said, Joyce, you got to come to Maryland. You got to get me out of the house. I got to make some prints. I cannot go in that studio by myself. Well, Joyce said, come on, let's go. And so we went into the studio and we did some prints. Now, I wasn't always able to go forward, but because I saw the ease, I never told you this, with which Joyce was doing this work, and then I started to hear the wonderful stories about her mother and the numbers and all of that, and I said, God. So then that got me out and got me back into working, because there was a while when there was this real heavy going around. I went to opening a black woman had the audacity to come up to my face and say, why did I do working? You know, I had to turn around and walk away because it was going to be ugly, ugly. Because this person didn't know why. She didn't know that half my family had died in less than 2 years. And that I was the bearer of taking care of everything. And then some horrible things happened with my mother, and they put her in a home and wouldn't tell me what she was, and they stole the power of attorney, and it just went on and on and on and on and on. And there in California, here, and I've got 2 children, and it was just, I had so much stuff on my plate, I might have had a paper plate. Because it was nothing was working. So out of all of that mud came the Lotus. My children are happy young adults. My work has gotten back on track, and I'm getting invitations again, and things are happening. But just for the record, Missy Humphrey here is a working.